So I'm assuming, I'm going to make the assumption that the people listening to this presentation are as scared of stats as I am. When it comes to a few things in practice, my blood starts to boil. I start to get a little bit uncomfortable, and stats is definitely one of them. And I'm learning to be a lot more comfortable with the different moving pieces of marketing in general. When it comes to a private practice, I'm really good at the stuff with an agency, but when it comes to private practice, I never really had to work at marketing my practice, and I get that a lot of people do. So in order for me to steer the ship of this community, I need to appreciate what you guys are experiencing, and I think that I'm learning my way. Here's the first thing I want you to understand. Here is let's say that this is an apple pie. Okay, let's say my brown plate is an apple pie. And this apple pie, if I cut it right down in the middle, this whole thing represents the marketing and growth for your practice, okay? This is it. This is the marketing and growth for your practice. I cut it down the middle. 50% of the marketing and growth of the practice happens without you looking at it, ideally. It happens while you're sleeping. It happens with algorithms. It happens through automations. It happens with all of these things that we didn't go to school to learn how to do, okay? The other 50% of the pie are the things that you're doing. It's the shaking hands, the kissing babies, the going to networking events, the building relationships, the person who sits at your front desk, if you have somebody sitting at your front desk asking for the reviews and the reactivations, and those are the things that are made up of that other 50%. Today, we're going to talk about the 50% that works while you're sleeping, okay? And we're going to say that of that 50%, there are a few slices we're going to consider. One slice is the SEO of the practice, meaning how hard is it for someone to find you online? One slice is how well is your website working for you? And one slice is what automations do you have in place? Before we dive into that, we're going to borrow the brilliant mind of Dr. Marcy Sanderson, as well as our tech genie, Lori. And we're going to geek out a little bit on practice stats. I'm going to say let's spend 5 minutes going over practice stats. Dr. Marcy and I put our brains together, our hearts together, and we said, how can we create a clean, simple, easy to implement stat sheet that you guys are going to be excited about using, because not only is it beautiful, but it's automated and it helps somebody who both learns visually as well as somebody who's super cerebral and loves the formulas and the blah blah blahs, right? I can't even go there because my brain doesn't work that way. So Dr. Marcy, first, can you just introduce yourself and then tell us what we're looking at?
Yes, hi, I'm Dr. Marcy Sanderson. I am one of the coaches here at Staffless Practice. I am also a practicing chiropractor of 20 years, and I have started from the ground up, and I am one of those people who geeks out when it comes to numbers and the black and white, that numbers have no emotion. So really, I love this stuff, so I'm really excited to dive in with it, Dr. Jody and you today.
So we've got monthly solo, weekly solo, monthly multi, and weekly multi. So can we start with monthly solo and just go over, at the end of the day, what is this sheet going to track for us and how do we use it?
Yeah, so we recognize that our community here at Staffless Practice is a very diverse group of people. So we have some people who are solopreneurs and some people who have multidisciplinary practices that have everything from dental hygienists. They're selling modalities as well. So first, we're going to talk about the people who are solopreneurs. They're working on their own. They have their own practice. And so this is a great place to start. As you can see, very simple, month by month. January through December, and then again January through December. And we like to do this so that we can compare year over year, so that once you start to add some data, and the data is in the next set of columns, so the first column being number of new patients, the second column being the number of patient visits in a week, the next day is number of days worked, and then number of hours worked, then followed by the monthly amount of monthly billed. And then again, this will be calculated automatically. This is where our tech genies have come in and helped us create the average percentage of hourly income that you're making in your practice based on all of this information. So whether you enter it yourself on this one is a monthly, as you can see on the next tab, it is done on a weekly basis. And I'm not sure how much Dr. Jody wants me to dive into, but for me, I really, really like the weekly. I know it can seem a little redundant and it can seem like, why am I doing this over and over again? But this is where you can make a huge difference in your practice month over month if you look at the numbers week by week. If you have an up week, what did you do last week that was so successful, and do it again?
Right.
Or
and
go ahead, Dr. Jody.
I was just going to say what I love about, like, when Dr. Marcy and I were brainstorming, like, what would be really cool to have on the sheet, she was like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a graph that changed as you added numbers? So, you know what, you guys, we put Sheena to work. Sheena is one of the team members here at Staffless. And as you add numbers to each one of these on all of these sheets, you're going to see a graph start to form here, which I think is like next level. It's so cool.
Dr. Jody, do you have an example that you can throw in there?
I didn't fill one in, no.
Okay.
But that would be a good idea for the next time. I'm also going to say that if you're a client of Staffless Practice, you now have access to this. It's in the course called, we got a lot of courses in the Academy. It's in the course called Chart. It's where the HIPAA compliance stuff is, it's where the stats is, and it's where the note-taking stuff is. And if you need access to it, just reach out to one of our team members if you're a client of ours. So that's really all I wanted to show you about this. I wanted this to be simple, beautiful, lovely, easy to implement. And this is something that I would even use, right? It has to be really easy for my brain for me to plug numbers in. So, and let me just also double click here. If you hover over the column name, Sheena's made it so that you can see what each column is for. And then Sheena, can I also just show you, if we can just, these are actually bolded for some reason, and it's been bothering me since I've been playing with it, but the lines here are bolded. So let's switch that around. And then if you say you have 4 people on your team, or 4 services you want to track, or 4 office locations, whatever it is, you're just going to change 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then,
Dr. Jody, if I can, our solopreneurs can also use this one if they want to track something like, you know, a service or an inventory that they're selling. You know, if you're a chiropractor and you sell orthotics, or you have a specialized technique, you use multi-level or a laser, and you want to see how effective that laser system is, this is a great way for even the solopreneur to use this multiple system here as well.
Yeah, I think about Dr. Shona. She's another coach on our team, and she's got foot levelers going in her practice, and
she has the MLS laser.
She has the laser too, so she could do chiropractic, laser, orthotics. I just do chiropractic, so I would probably use the monthly solo. But
again, if we have an optometrist on here,
right,
if we have a dentist, they could be selling, you know, how many contact lenses, how many glasses, how many.
Would be cool to track. And then our team can always expand it. So I want to pivot to our team member, Lori, Lori's involved with all the tech, geeky, go high level practice suite formulations. And what we just built out is a reporting system for the practice suite that we are going to send all of our, what we call sweeties. If you have a practice suite, which is an all-in-one client communication platform, that's going to look something like this. And it's going to take care of all of the conversations of people who you're nurturing, people who you're currently serving in your practice. Then each month we're going to be sending you the metrics report on how well your suite is doing. So this is the kind of thing where we're talking about the half of the pie that works for you while you're sleeping. Lori, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
So we can generate like a monthly versus a weekly report. So it's going to be, for the first block that we have here, that's going to be total number of new contacts that came in your suite. So these are real practice members, new leads that we can follow up with. The next one would be our confirmed appointment count. That would be your telehealth sessions, for example, and your lead pilot. Then the total funnel views would be your lead pilot itself, or any pages that we built, or website page that we built within your suite. So that's your visitors each month. And we also have delivered email, which means how or the emails were successfully sent out and actually reached out their inboxes. Accepted emails means the email provided trusted your sender email and allowed them through.
So one of
that's
the
that.
things, you guys, that a really important metric for us is we'll have a client join our world and they'll come to us with 50,000 email addresses. But if 90% of those 50,000 email addresses are going to spam, you pretty much have to start from scratch. And some people are like, you know what? I don't even know where to start. I spent so much money. I invested so much time on this list. Usually the first thing that we have to do is we have to clean up your list. And then if we look at this metric month after month, and what Lori didn't say is, you see how there's like a green or a red? It shows you if it went down from last month or it went up from last month, which I think is really cool. Dr. Marcy's question for this is great information, but what do I do with it? Like, what does it mean? How do we implement it? And the goal is for our team to look for red flags. And if we see when we send you this report that this number hits a certain milestone, we know that we have to roll up our sleeves for you and make some changes in your practice suite. So we're looking at how many emails are opened. We want this number to be above 30% of the total number of emails that you're sending out. How many emails are clicked, how many emails are replied to, if we have failed emails, if we have unsubscribed emails, and then if there are bounces. This is actually my practice suite, you guys. We had 17 hard bounce emails. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that we're bringing in any dead links for emails. So that shows me in the next month that we have work to do. And if you guys have studied, thank you, Lori. I think that that's all we need your awesome brain for. And there's more graphing here, you guys, and we can definitely double click on the rest of this at a different time. So if you guys have read the book Traction, you know about the concept of visionary, which is like, I've got all these ideas and I want to go do all of these things. And then the implementer is the person who catches the ideas and implements them. This is an implementer tool, right? Not a visionary tool. It's like, I'll look at this for 3 seconds and then I'll get bored and I'll be on to the next 5 ideas. But whoever looks at this and they're like, oh, this is such good stuff, you're an implementer. You're the person who should be taking it and implementing it and turning it into systems. Okay, I'm going to keep going because I got a lot I want to go over today. So the next thing I want you to see, we went over the stat sheet. I want to go to here, this is great. Top 10 practice growth tips. So we use this actually, I think we used this last year when it hit New Year's. And these are just some different ideas for you guys. So know what your vision for your practice is. Make sure you're serving your people, the people who you wake up you wake up each morning and you're like, yes, I get to go to the office today because I get to serve these people, right? Make sure you're building community partnerships, making sure that you're showing up on social media in some way, shape, or form. If this is absolutely not your jam, then you hire a team like the Staffless team to take care of this piece for you. Make sure you're in balance with time, energy, money. Make sure you're looking at your schedule regularly and you have time where nobody can touch you. Make sure that your brand is consistent no matter where they look. They see your colors, they see your fonts, they see your logo, whatever it might be. Make sure that your practice values are front and center, that you know what your core values are and that your mission is a sewn together story of those values and it's front and center on everything that your practice puts out there. And that would be your practice statement. That's number 8. Number 9 is having a really solid marketing plan. I'll go over that in a minute. Number 10, make sure that you're enjoying the ride. If you're not enjoying the ride, you got to pivot. You got to pivot hard, right? If you don't love what you're doing, then really revisit how 2026 can be different for your practice. Make sure that you have support, that you're in groups of people who are like-minded, and of course, always be learning. We have a ton of content in Staffless Practice Academy. Whether you're learning from us or you're learning from another group of mentorship-based, mentorship-based community, make sure you're part of something that's constantly expanding your mind. As far as the marketing plan balance is concerned, I love the visual, because there I am as a visual learner again, of taking a sheet of paper. I'm just going to do this for you real quick, guys. So you take a sheet of paper and you divide it in 4. It's going to look something like this. And this, you've got habits and celebrations. So habits and celebrations, inside habits, inside celebrations, outside habits, outside celebrations. I might have screwed up how I did that, right? Inside habits, inside celebrations, outside habits, outside celebrations. Habits are the things that you do on a regular, like once a month, once a week. Stats would be a great example of that. And inside habits are the things you do inside of your office to keep it moving forward. Outside habits are the things that you do outside of the office to keep it moving forward. Inside celebrations are the celebrations, the activities, the events that you offer inside of the office. Outside celebrations are the things that you participate in or host outside of the office. If you have a healthy balance of these 4 quadrants, if you're new in practice and you don't have a practice following yet, that's something that you're trying to establish, you're trying to pound pavement, shake hands, kiss babies, then you really want to be focused on outside of the practice. And as your practice grows, you're going to be doing more and more inside, asking for referrals and reviews and all of these things. By the way, I remember really clearly sharing with one of my practice members that we were taking new patients, practice members, we were accepting new people, and their face dropped. And they said to me, I didn't know that you were taking new practice members. And I thought to myself, if I don't tell my practice that I'm able to take new people on my schedule, they're going to assume that I can't. So I have to tell them, I have to ask. And the worst thing that can happen when you ask is that you get a no. So be prepared for the no and be pleasantly surprised when you get the yes. Okay, so I'm going to pivot one more time, and I want to go over, what do I want to go over now? I want to go over this. Okay, so I'm learning more and more about this, and what one of the things that I'm learning is as soon as I understand it, it changes. Like I'll be like, okay, I got the whole SEO thing down, and then I'll listen to a podcast or I'll go to a webinar and I'll be like, I know nothing. Because again, it changes every day. Same with AI. We have a lot of people who come to our workshops, our seminars, and they ask what we can do for them for AI. How long have we been doing it? And you guys, everybody's new at AI because it's new. So we're all learning together. We're all falling down. We're all getting back up. I think the thing that really differs between my team and the other services out there is that we're super transparent about our process. Like if we don't know something, we'll say, we don't know how to do this, but we're going to figure it out and give it our best shot. So this is an SEO report. And the concept is this: your office is right in the center. This is actually my practice. Your office is right in the center. You want to be around a 1 or a 2. That means that if I'm standing at my office door right now, if I go down to downtown Clinton and I stand outside of my office door and I type in best chiropractor in Clinton, New Jersey, I'm going to show up first. My practice is going to show up first. Here's what I want you to know. There are doctors who are spending thousands of dollars every month to show up first. And you guys can see I show up first all the way around. I have never spent $1 on marketing my practice through SEO. The reason this is happening is because I have a ton of reviews for my practice, and I answer every single one of them. So there are a bunch of things that are going to nurture you showing up first. You want to show up first because people want instant gratification. If they're standing near my office and they want to get an adjustment immediately, I want them to see me first. And then I want them to see that I have I have something like 60 reviews on my practice, and I want them to go read my reviews. And then I want them to see my personality shine through in the way that I respond to those reviews. Please be mindful that some practitioners are not allowed to ask for reviews. Chiropractors, thank goodness, are, but you really want to be mindful of what you're allowed to do in your area. So this is an SEO report, and we're happy to run this report for free for you, whether you're a client or you're not a client. Let us take a look at what's currently happening. And I think you just go to stafflessaudit.com and we'll run this report for you. The other thing I want to show you is a typical website. So most websites have typos all over them. Most websites are built for SEO. If you have a marketing company building your website, they're not aesthetically pleasing, and there are a few check marks that they don't fulfill on. One is before the scroll happens, right? You guys hear me talk about this all the time because it's a really easy concept that goes unattended way too often. So before the scroll happens, there's no question on where they go, who they are, and where they go to get the help that they're looking for. Where do they go to get the solution that they came to your website looking to solve? They're coming to your website to solve a problem. They're standing outside of your office to solve a problem. What's the problem that they're looking to solve? And when they go to your website, your perfect person, are you showing them through pictures? Are you giving them instructions clearly through buttons that this is where they start to get that problem solved, right? They see, before I touch my computer, they see me kissing babies, they see my puppy, they see me teaching but being kind of silly. These are all the ways that we want to nurture my practice members before the mouse gets touched. And then if they click first visit start here, don't put a button here that says book here, because they don't know who you're talking to. If you say book here, the first thing I would think, is that for regular practice members or is that for new people? That's one of my pet peeves. So make sure you're saying new here, start by clicking this button, or whatever the words are that you want to say. Click the button. And then the idea is they then go into what's called a VSL, or a video sales letter. This video sales letter is going to tell them all about your practice, what you do, what you don't do, and it's going to offer them a 10-minute telehealth with either one of your team members or a team member of ours who we hire on your behalf, a virtual assistant. So that's our lead pilot program. It's a really easy way to collect leads from your website. Not only are we doing that, but then to take it a step further, you can start riffing with them through a chat conversation with an AI bot. That's another option, another way that you can nurture leads on your website. Again, these are things that happen while you're sleeping. They're ways that you can take care of your people without your time being touched. I went over this. Okay, let's go over this. I also want you guys to remember that having a healthy portfolio of different things that you're doing to run your practice marketing is really important. There are some old timers out there who have never picked up a pen or a phone to do marketing for their practice, and they have waitlist practices. And I have not figured out that equation yet. I haven't figured out what's the difference between those old timers and people who are pouring time, energy, and money into marketing. I think there is a component of magic to all of this. There is a component of good graces, of doing good and good happens, all of these things. But there's also work that we can do. We can roll up our sleeves and we can make sure that our brand and our message and our values and our statement is omnipresent. We do this on Facebook, on Instagram, through workflows. Voicemail drops, where if somebody books an appointment when you're sleeping, they automatically get a voicemail with your voice, and it looks like they called. It looks like you called them, but you didn't. It's all automated. Building relationships, in-person events, making sure you have healthy habits in the practice, and again, making sure that your brand assets are consistent. So this is a healthy pie, right? And the idea is the website is the hub of it. Your website is a virtual business card. It's also a way for SEO to be pushed. It's a way for your name to be put in front of them first. It's a tool. That's all that it is. In my experience in 2026, the website is not for educating my practice members. That's going to be a funnel. It's going to be an online course. It's going to be a nurturing sequence once they say yes to care. Your website is simply a business card for them to start to, it's the top of the funnel. It's where they start to establish trust with you. And the deeper they go into your funnel, the more trust that is established. And the more by the time they show up at your office for their first visit, they feel like they already know you. That's marketing in 2026. It's a lot different than marketing in 2019. It's a lot different. Our attention span is 3 seconds long. Think about how long during a typical day, how many hours you spend on screens. And when you're on screens, how fast things are changing for your brain. If you want to play this game, if you want to be able to go to sleep and have your practice building for you, you need to jump into that pace, right? At least a large percentage of us do. Again, there is a magic to it. There are people who open their doors, they hang their name on a shingle, and their practice is full. And there will always be those people, they're magnets, right? But some of us have to pound pavement, and we pound and we pound and we pound until we start to gain traction. And once we gain traction, it's imperative that we don't stop looking at it. Our company, Staffless Practice, is so busy, you guys. We are in the prime of our industry. We're crushing it right now. We're giving great service. We have a full list of clients who we love, who love us, who know how much we appreciate them. Our team is phenomenal. Yet, every day I spend 33 minutes going through touching my leads every single day. Because if I don't do it, I'm going to start to drop the ball. I use systems of index cards. You guys have to find a system that works for you. I have this whole 33 system. 33 is my number. So for 33 minutes every day, I'm touching 33 people. That's my system. I need the written word. I need the tangible card. You might need something different. I've tried doing this on a board where I swipe the card. Nope, I need the paper. And I had to learn that I need the paper the hard way. And I'm telling you guys, as long as I spend that 33 minutes a day, it might not be directly from the cards that I'm touching that day, but it goes in one door, it comes through the back door, it goes out the front door. And it's this constantly evolving thing that I am feeding. I am one of those people where my practice takes care of itself. If I look over at it, it will start to build, but I'm not looking at it because I'm looking at you guys and nurturing the Staffless Practice community. My practice is the easy part, 100%. So if your practice is not the easy part, do the parts that you love to do and hand the ball over to people who love to do the parts that you don't. And our team is here for the marketing. Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions, comments, anything at all. My dog's going to start barking because my friend's about to ring the doorbell. What questions do you guys have? That was a lot. I think I had a lot of coffee today. But I've got Marcy and Lori on, and Rebecca's here too, so you know that I've got the kids in my corner. So I got all kinds of energy going into this. What questions do you have? I'm going to go ahead and stop recording in case. Go ahead.
You mentioned that we can find the spreadsheet. Where was it at again?
Dr. Sarita, we actually shared it last week. Every week, you guys, we do a weekly review or a recap of how your account is going, what you may be falling behind on, what our team is working on, all of these things. But your Friday recap, there was a link to it, or just drop a note in your Slack channel that you need it and we'll put it in front of you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
It actually would be a really good idea, Sheena, if you're watching this, to email it out to all of our clients if we haven't already done so. What else, guys? All right, I'm loving you guys from here. Go make the world better with great care. Thanks for listening today.